Cities in the Mist, episode 4 by Cantorin. Wanderer. You again? So you have not left this town yet. Are you sure you are the traveler or you are the one hunting this tavern? Come, Joe, sit down. Take these cards. No, hold them like you mean it, not like you're picking up dead leaves. If you bend them, I will tell everybody the famous wanderer came here, folded my card deck, and still lost to a spice merchant. Imagine that shame. Let us agree on one thing before we start. Aim? If I win, we call it school fees for all these stories you're collecting. If you win, you can go around boasting that you once beat Kelechi on a lucky day. Deal? Good. Shuffle. You know me already, but let me say it with my own mouth again. Kelechi. Trader of spices, incense, perfume that smells like temptation, and little stones that make rich people forget their common sense. I travel up and down these roads more than some people travel from their bed to the market. This tavern? It's my second house. My room upstairs is paid for all year. Sometimes I disappear for months. Then one day I walk in and people say, Kelechi is back. Better hide your wallet and your stew. But that lake out there, the big one, that one is not my friend. We greet from far. You like stories. I can see it the way your ears sharpen when I talk. So while your hands are busy losing this game, let me tell you the day the lake warned me personally. Put your first card down. At least pretend we are playing. Good. Listen, that year I was doing big man. I will not lie. Proper wagon, not these rattling skeletons I see sometimes on the road. 4 strong horses, leather seats, curtains, 2 assistants, Chiki and Bala. 1 armed guard, Roderick, who polished his sword more than he used it. If you had seen me then, you would have thought I owned half the south. From my home by the warm sea, I was traveling inland, heading for the big city beyond the far shore of your lake. You know the one I mean? The city that thinks the sun rises just to shine on its rooftops. Some important traders from there sent message. Kelechi, come, bring your finest jewels. We want to see your real stock. My brother, my sister, that kind of invitation is not small. If they like what I show them, they call again and again and again. That is how a man's name starts to carry weight. So I picked my best pieces. Not many, just 1 small pouch. But inside, old stones, clear ones, jewels with longer history than some kingdoms, the kind that makes serious people argue for hours. I tied that pouch like it was my second heart. We came up from the south, dust, bad stew, beds that complained louder than the guests. Your roads and your taverns are so bad in some places. Let me not even start. But we were moving, perambulating peacefully through the countryside. In my head, I was counting days. If nothing goes wrong, I will arrive a day ahead or at worst, just in time. Sit like a prince, open my pouch, and watch their eyes shine. Then one wheel decided, today I resign. We were not far from this town. The rain of the day before had turned the road to mud. Not polite mud. The kind that grabs your boots and says, where do you think you are going? The wagon hits one wicked patch, leans to the side, groans like an old man getting out of bed, and bam! The wheel carries itself off into the ditch as if it has finished its service to humanity. Assistants are shouting, horses are stamping. The bodyguard is frowning like he saw it coming because bodyguards are never surprised, only concerned. Me, I am sitting inside the coach thinking, God, why today of all days? It takes us a whole day to provisionally put the wheel back on. We limp into the nearest village, tiny place, 1 blacksmith, 1 well, 2.5 decent houses, 3 goats with more confidence than most kings. The blacksmith looks at the wheel, looks at the axle, hisses like hot metal in water, and says, if I fix it fast, it will break fast. If I fix it well, it will take time. At least several days. You choose. You see the problem. Time is the one thing I cannot waste. I have already lost one whole day of travel because of this. This wheel wahala. So I start calculating. The big city is far beyond the far shore, maybe 50 miles inland, but I know if I can just get across this lake, I will cut days off the journey. If I wait for the wheel and go around by road, I risk missing my appointment. If I don't go at all, I might as well write, "Please forget me," on expensive paper and send it instead of myself. So I ask the villagers, "Is there a way to cross the lake? Some boat?" That is when your people started their drama. The lake is deep. The lake is old. The lake chooses who it lets pass. Very poetic, very unhelpful. So I ask again, "Okay, very good, but is there a boat?" They take me to the ferryman. Old man, proper old, skin like carved wood, eyes like someone poured the lake into them long ago and forgot to stop. You don't need anyone to tell you this one has seen things. He looks at me. Then he looks at the sky. Then he looks at the water. And he says, "Not today." Just like that. Not "come back later." Not "it might be rough." Just "no, not today." I look up. The sky is clean, clear. The clouds are minding their own business. The lake is lying flat like a polished mirror. Birds are flying straight. They are not forming any warning shapes. So I ask him, "Ewo, Papa, what do you mean, not today, sir? Look at the weather, sir." He shakes his head. "The lake is not in a good mood," he says. Wait. You see your elders. Now, if I had sense, that is where the story would end. But that day, money was speaking louder than wisdom in my ear. Your card. Don't think because I am confessing my foolishness, I will let you in. In my mind, it went like this. If I stay, I miss the deal, my name becomes weak. If I go around, I arrive late and look unreliable. If I cross by water, I arrive early, I impress them. They trust me with more business. On one side, my future. On the other side, one old man saying, "The lake is angry." You know already which side I chose. So I ask the second foolish question. Are there other boats? Of course there are. Small rowboats tied along the shore, rocking gently like they are laughing at us. I have 2 strong assistants and a bodyguard. I am not old. My back still knows how to pull. The small town on the far hill is visible. Small shapes, little lights starting to appear. The lake is quiet. In my head, a voice said, "It will be easy. Just cross." Anytime you hear that sentence near deep water, it will be easy. Just cross. My friend, that is the time to go and lie down. But I did not lie down. I took my pouch of jewels, small on the outside, very loud in my thoughts, and tied it up under my shirt, directly over my heart. Chika and Bala looked at me like, "Oga, are you sure?" Roderick raised an eyebrow. I smiled the smile of a man who should not be trusted with his own decisions and said, "Yes, we'll cross now. Hire horses in the small town across the other side of the lake. Ride fast to the city in a couple of days. Finish the deal, come back by road. Simple?" Some of the villagers shook their heads. One woman muttered, "Foreigners." Another man said, "It is the lake that will answer them." I pretended I did not hear. We climbed into the boat and we pushed off at dusk. The sun was sliding down behind the trees, turning the edge of the world red. The water was smooth, just little ripples from the oars. The air was cool, soft. For the first 20 minutes, it was so peaceful I almost forgave your roads. Chiki sat in front, rowing strong, shoulders working like an ox. Bala sat at the back, dipping his oar and whispering small prayers. I sat in the middle with Roderick the bodyguard, trying to look relaxed while my fingers would not leave the pouch under my shirt. Behind us, the village shrank. Its few lamps became tiny dots near the shore. Ahead, on the hill, the small town lights began to shine, one by one. It looked close, reachable, friendly. I even turned to them and said, "You see, we worried for nothing. Before they finish eating over there, we will be on dry ground and hiring horses from them." That is when the lake decided it had heard enough of my mouth. It started as a small mist, just a faint white breath skimming the surface. I told myself, normal. Water is cold, air is cooling, mist happens. Then it grew. It rose from the surface like someone lifting a sheet. First around our knees, then our waists, then up around our faces. The facial blood, the hill and its lights became fuzzy behind the veil. When I turned back, the side we came from was gone completely. Just white and grey, and the soft slap of water. But if I looked up, sky still clear. Moon climbing round and bright, stars exactly where they're supposed to be. Only the water and the air hugging it had changed. I was still trying to pretend everything was fine when we heard it. Boom. Not loud like thunder far away. Deep, inside the wood, inside my bones, like somebody struck a huge gong under our boat. The boards shivered. My teeth hummed. Cheeky froze mid-stroke. Bala's hands tightened on his oar. Then again, boom! That one climbed up my spine and set up a small meeting in my skull. My heart skipped, then started running to catch up. The water began to ripple, not from the oars, from below. That was the moment when I stopped feeling like a clever merchant and started feeling like a fool waiting to be served as small chops for someone's snack. Completely vulnerable. The mist around us thickened, swelling in slow circles. The air grew colder, wet cold, the kind that slides into your bones and makes itself comfortable. Then I saw the first light under the water. Just a little green glow at first, then more. Blue, gold, colors that don't belong in any normal lamp. They moved, not on the surface, below. Reflection? I thought. Reflection of what? The town? No, the town was too far away. These lights were in the wrong places, shifting in strange patterns. These are not scenes that have any business being under the water. Of course, instead of looking away, all four of us leaned over the side a little. Because that is what human beings do. When something wants to kill us, we say, wait, let me look at it properly. Wanderer, I swear to you, I saw streets down there. Not clear like a painting, flickering. A tall arch and streets, then gone. Steps leading somewhere, then gone. Rows of windows, then gone. Something like a tower shape and rows of houses. Each time the deep gong sounded, the lights flared and drew sharper lines, as if they were tracing a city and then smudged it away again. Like someone was trying to remember a city on the lakebed and kept forgetting. Chiki gasped. Bala stopped pretending to pray quietly and started praying with his whole chest. Roderick drew his sword and held it aloft, ready to strike. Me? My mouth was dry. But I did what any intelligent, terrified man would do. "Oh yeah, now," I shouted. "Row." We rowed. When I tell you we rowed, believe me, we rowed like the shore was heaven and everything under that boat was hell. Chiki attacked the water with his oar. His arms moved like he was rowing for his life. Bala, who normally complains walking from door to chair, dug in and pulled. His prayers turned into a rhythm. Roderick grabbed an oar and made himself useful for once. I grabbed the spare oar. All my fine merchant manners disappeared. I was dragging that water like it owed me money. The boat leapt forward. Boom. Another gong from below. The phantom lights flared again. For a heartbeat, I saw what looked like a market square under us. Shapes moving through it. Or maybe that was just fear painting pictures on my eyes. Bala shouted, "Oga, if we fall, will we hit the houses or go straight to the bottom?" I yelled back, "If you don't row, we will find out. Row!" Above us, the moon shone peacefully. From the shore, if anyone had glanced out, maybe they would have seen only a little boat in a bit of evening fog. But inside that mist, with the gong in our bones and a broken city under us, I have never felt so far from land. We stopped talking. No breath left for words. Only oars, splashing, and panic. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. One stroke, two strokes, and the water under us felt different. Heavy, yes. Deep, yes. But ordinary. Honest. Just water again. The mist loosened around our faces. It began to fray, drifting off in thin strands. I forced myself to lean over the side one more time. No lights, no arches, no hint of streets, just black depth and my own frightened face looking back. The far shore was close, closer than I expected. Fear had turned us into champions. We ran the boat into the mud with no elegance at all. The bow stuck. Chiki jumped out, dragged us further up. Bala rolled into the shallows and lay there, laughing and crying at the same time. Roderick got out and straightened his clothes, trying to maintain his cool image, but I could see his hands were shaking. Eya! I stepped onto solid ground and my knees almost gave way. I bent down and literally put my hand on the dirt. In that moment, I loved that mud more than gold. Che, I cannot die in another man's land. We stood there, soaked and shaking, looking back at the lake, calm, flat, pretending innocence. I wanted to shout at it, but you don't insult something that big right after it decides not to kill you. What did we do then? We fixed our clothes, we straightened our backs, we made our way to the city, hiring horses, and acted as if nothing was wrong. When the traders opened their door, we gave them our best smiles. We greeted them. We opened the pouch. They admired the jewels, nodded, made expensive noises. We agreed prices. We drank sweet, sweet wine and tantalized our tongues with delicacies. One of them said, "We appreciate your reliability, especially with the difficulties of travel in these parts." I almost laughed in his face. That night, I slept like a dead man in a bed that didn't move, in a room that did not breathe mist. No gongs, no lights under the floor. In the morning, over breakfast, I looked at Chike, Bala, and Roderick and said, "So, are we going back by boat?" All four of us started laughing at once. The kind of laugh that has tears hiding inside it. "Never again," I told them. "If the road breaks, we walk on the broken pieces. But I will not sit on that water like that again." And I have kept that promise. On the way back, the wheel was fixed, waiting. The blacksmith smiled like a man who is pleased to see you are still alive, not just because we owed him money. We paid him, loaded the wagon. Before we left, I walked down to the shore alone. The ferryman was there as usual. I am not entirely convinced he ever sleeps. He looked at me, saw me coming from the road, not from the water. His mouth twitched at one corner. Maybe a smile, maybe not. He gave one small nod. "No, I told you." No lecture. Just that old man's nod that says, "Now you understand." Since that day, if I must go to that city, I go by road. If the wagon breaks, I walk. If the road disappears, I find a new one. If anyone tells me it will be faster if we cross by boat, I tell them, "My friend, you can be fast. I will be alive." The lake and I have an agreement now. I don't ride on its head. It doesn't show me its dreams again. So that is my contribution to your collection, Wanderer. Next time you stand on that shore and someone says, "Come, let us cross," it will be easy. Just remember 4 fools in a rowboat, 1 very expensive pouch, a city made of light under the water, and a gong that wanted to climb into the bones. And tell them one spice trader from the south said, my brother, my sister, you like money, yes, but do you like breathing? Choose wisely. Now, put your next card down, my sister, and don't imagine that just because I nearly expired in a mist on the lake, I will let you win this game.